Hi guys, it's Tom here at MTG Arena Standard Decks. Today I'm going to be showing you a cheap red aggro deck comprised of mainly commons or uncommons, with a focus on a lot of low cost creatures with haste to try and rush the opponent before their deck has a chance to get going, with some target damaging spells to help you reduce their life total quickly, or keep their board clear for your creatures to keep attacking their face. And the deck is going to be great for people who are trying to make a push through those ranks, bronze to silver, silver gold and so on, as you get a lot of fast games in, especially since the bans to mono black and Rakdos. So we're going to be running 4 different creatures, as we're not expected to stay around long enough to play very many. The first is Monastery Swiftspear, with haste to attack as soon as you play him, and prowess to gain +1/+1 for the turn every time you play a non-creature card. We're also running Phoenix Chick, with flying and haste, and now this is a great turn 1 pick into black or red, as they can eat up the opposition's removal, whilst their secondary ability gives you a chance to bring them back to the field attacking the opponent with +1/+1 for 2 mana when you attack with 3 or more other creatures. Next up is Voldaren Epicure, who is a useful chump blocker, but the blood token that they can create can be great to allow you to swap out duplicates of your high cost cards, or additional lands if your hand is bogged down with them. And then finally, we have Squee, Dubious Monarch. So when you attack with him, he creates a 1/1 goblin token that is also tapped and attacking, and this can get oppressive very fast, so expect your opponent to target them with removal. However, you can cast him for 3 colourless and a red land from your graveyard by exiling 4 other cards from the graveyard. Now, the 2 most important non-creature spells that you'll want to play whenever possible are going to be Kumano faces Kakkazan and Mechanized Warfare. Now, Kumano deals 1 damage to each opponent and planeswalker they control when played, and the next turn he's going to give your first creature played +1/+1, and the turn after that he's going to become a 2/2 creature with haste and an ability that sends all creatures destroyed to exile rather than graveyards. And this is going to be your turn 1 pick 99% of the time, as you want that 2/2 creature as soon as possible. Now, Mechanized Warfare is a 3-cost enchantment that gives every piece of red or artifact damage you deal to the opponent an extra 1 damage. So that's going to be buffing every creature and target damage spell in this deck. Now, our other spells, we got End the Festivities, which deals 1 damage to each creature and planeswalker an opponent controls. And honestly, it's a great counter to a mono-red matchup when you've got that mirror play. When they're buffed up by Mechanized Warfare, it will often destroy their whole board because they'll have a lot of 1/1s, 2/2s and the like. We've also got Play with Fire, again going to be great in those mirror matchups, dealing 2 damage to any target, but also just getting that buff from Mechanized Warfare again is going to enable you to do a lot of damage very quickly, and you can scry for 1 if this hits the opponent directly. Lightning Strike, a staple red card, again dealing 3 damage to any target, going to be 4 damage when we've got Mechanized Warfare involved as well. And we also run Reckless Impulse at 4. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you may play those cards until the end of your next turn. Great for giving Monastery Swiftspear that +1/+1 through prowess. It'll also help you search for what you need, whether you're looking for lands, whether you're looking for those creatures. We also have Bloody Betrayal. Now, this is actually a direct counter to any of the decks out there that are going to be cheesing out large creatures early, or really anything that's going to be blocking your creatures from hitting the opponent in the face. It's going to take control of a creature until the end of your turn and give it haste, as well as giving you another blood token like Voldaren Epicure, which is just going to be great for finding those cards, cycling out the cards you don't want from your hand. And finally, we've got Chandra, Dressed to Kill. Now, this is the only planeswalker that we run, and her first +1 is a mountain energy and 1 damage to an opponent or planeswalker. Again, great when buffed by Mechanized Warfare. And it'll also allow you to play more cheap cards each turn with just that 1 extra energy there. And her other +1 exiles the top card of your deck and lets you play it as long as it is not a land in this deck. And finally, her -7 ability, going to be honest, we probably don't get to use it that often, as the length of the games we're playing with this deck are going to be quite fast, but if needed, it can allow you to produce a lot of damage very quick in that burst by exiling the top 5 cards of your deck. Now, with this deck, we've just got 19 mountains. Honestly, you're only going to need to hit 3 lands each game for your deck to work. So if you ever get a start hand with 2 lands, you're usually pretty happy. You assume you're going to be getting those low cost cards out whilst drawing that 3rd land that you need as the games progress. So in summary, we want to hit Kumano turn 1, and then some of our 1-cost creatures for the +1/+1 buff on turn 2 through Kumano. Monastery Swiftspear, obviously going to get that prowess as well, which will play really well into a turn 3 mechanized warfare, but really just trying to get out lots of cheap creatures and damaging spells to the opponent's face for a very quick victory.